everyone, in today's lecture we are going to learn about SQL advanced statement. We are going to look at the join statement, then we are going to look at rank, what is rank, how you could use this in SQL, and then we could see a new operator, that is like operator, and how you could use this in SQL. The first thing to learn about in SQL, in advanced SQL, is join statement, and you are going to use mostly this in whole your database journey and as a data science if you want to learn, if you are looking at. So what is SQL join statement? Basically, a join statement is used to combine two or more rows. So in real world, what happen is you really don't have basically you what you have is basically you have suppose a table, some columns, but it not necessary that that all columns would contain every much detail. So it might be that there are some other tables that have other data set, and it contains other data set, like other valuable data, such as, for example, here you could see that, and here you could see that there is customer ID and you have first name, and there is other order that contains order ID, amount, and customer details. So if you want to use this statement, how you could use this? So basically what you need to do is, basically you need to make something that is known as join. You will join this database, join this table. And how you could join this, right? To join this, you could see that this customer ID is common between these customer and order. So what you could do is basically join this statement, and you get the completed join part, and you could have all the rest of the details from customers table as well as the like from the orders table you could also get. So SQL join statement is basically, what you could say is a join. SQL joins are basically a join clause where you could use to combine rows from two or main columns based on related how they are related on them. So basically you could join this table, and once you could join this, you could see that how they are joined. Basically you could see that the first name, this customer ID was the primary key between orders and table customer, and they were joined based on that we known as inner join, that we are going to look in now, just in next few minutes, what is inner join. But basically they were joined, and then we get the whole table. Now let us look at some other thing that is we need to know about. Basically you could, if you are making notes, you could write this down, that a join clause statement is used to combine two or more tables based on how they are related between them. But the next thing that we need to know about, that there are basically four types of join statement in SQL. The first join statement is inner join. Basically if someone says join, you could say, okay, join statement is basically is for inner join. Left outer join, basically left outer join, we are going to look into it. Right outer join and full outer join. So if you are from mathematics background, or you have looked at in your you have in if you have looked at in mathematics set theory, this might relate to you, that that if you have inner join, right? So basically inner join, what is it is basically the, in SQL it's basically A intersection B, where suppose you have a table, left table, and you have a right table. The commonality between these two table is selected is known as inner join. So returns a record that have matching values in both tables. So the left tables that have common value which is present in right table, or you could say that values that are present common between left table and right table are selected. So that is where inner join statement is used. Once we are going to look into the description once, then we are going to look at how you could use this in SQL. So basically we are going to go through the theory based first, and then the application part. So now next let us look at the what is full join statement. Full join statement basically gives you A union B in set theory. If you want to look at, basically we get the basically we get all the combination of left join and right join and the intersection of both. And basically you could say returns all the records where there is a match is either in left or right. So you get all the record, and based on this you could do some operation on your data set. Now we have next type of join statement, that is left join. So if you want to look at the set theory, you could say A minus B. So the table except the right table that we are going to look at. So basically we are going to select only the left table, that includes whole left table. And right join statement is similarly B minus A, then it's basically whole right table and it does not contain any section of left table. And if you want to look onto the description that what is right on left join, what you could do is write this down. Basically left outer join statement returns all records from the left table and the matched record from the right table. So basically whole left table that is passed to us. Then in the right join returns all the uh, basically it's a converse statement. It gives you the right table and the matched records from the left table. So I hope you have got this idea. Okay, what is join statement, and you need to visualize. Okay, when we use this, you need to visualize that what we are going to, what is going to happen when we use it. So if you remember right, in our second lecture in which we have installed our database, and then we have used DVD rental data, right? So if you are kind of like if you have open PG admin if you have already installed, or if not, if you want if you haven't, you could look on to the lecture, I think 3 or 2nd, in which we have looked on to how you could install the database and then how you could get this database into the PostgreSQL. So in this PostgreSQL dataset, here's the schema of the database that we haven't looked at, but I'm giving an idea. Okay, we have a lot of table, right? Here we have category ID, we have table inventory, we have customer table, we have film category, rental, film, payment, address, city, staff, language, film actor. We have all this table, and here are some primary keys that you could easily connect with this other thing. So if you need to connect, for example, if you need to connect this table film category versus film, how you could connect this? So to connect this table, you could see you could make a join statement on film ID and you could get this whole thing. And suppose you want to like if you want to merge this category into film, right? If you want to get a whole data set that contains table, film category and film, how you could do this? You could take a 2-minute time and think it out, but the answer is just basically you need to combine this. You may need to make a join statement on this, and then you could combine this on this table. Okay, now we have got an idea. Okay, if we need to get the film, we need to make a join statement on this, and how I'm able to get this, because this is the connection you could see, right? This line shows how you could make the connection, and the stars tell, okay, the star ID could tell you how you could make this connections. So let's say take one more. If you need to get store, like connection between category and store, how you could make this? So basically you could see that, okay, for store to connect with staff, here we could use store ID, right? Store ID is here, and then what we need to do is we could make a connection with rental based on the, let me check if something would be okay. So we could make a connection between rental and staff based on staff ID. Okay, now we have got this data and this data connected, and how we could connect this data with this. So basically we could connect this based on inventory ID. Now this and this are connected. Now we need to connect this with film. So we could make a connection with film and based on the film ID, and then we are able to get this category based on the film ID, and then we could connect the category ID. I hope you are able to now get, okay, if we need to get other data, we could just need to make a connection and we get all those data. And this is the real based scenario. So this data is real world data set, that how the how database are stored. Basically is not stored onto one table. Basically these are split apart. Some may contain one column that could be connected with other column, and that's how we able to manipulate the data set. Now before now let's see how you could do inner join statement. So basically we have look, okay, inner join. What is inner join? Basically if you have two tables, right? um, Let me select the pen, and if we have two tables, right, suppose this is the table A, this is the table B. Inner join table will give this part, the commonality between A and B. uh, A and B, basically in set theory, that's how you will write. So if we look onto this part, and this is very important thing, how the schema is. And when I was learning about the SQL, I was very confused in this part. Basically uh, you need to remember that when you make a, suppose this is your table 2, right? So you need to select from table 1, this needs to be here, and then you need to make sure that table 1 is here. You cannot say that uh, inner join table 2 and on table 2 dot column is equal to table 1 dot column. So I will repeat once again. So what I am saying is that you have selected column, right? That those column are that you need to show. Then you need to select, okay, which table we need to select from. That is your table 1. We select, we then make the table 2 comes here, inner join on table 2. And here this part is very important. On table 1 dot column is equal to table 2 dot column, but you need to make sure that this is not like this, table 2 dot common column is equal to table 1 dot column instead of here table 2 dot column. So why I'm saying this, because uh, it won't be accepted. That's not a correct SQL semantics, and it will basically give you the error when you use it. So basically that's the one thing. What happen is, so it's, if it's like table 2 dot common, and I will say table 2 dot column, that's how it's written. And if it says is equal to table 1 dot column, what I'm just saying is, just I have inverted column, it won't be accepted. And reason is why, because this is not correct. The correct schematic is here, and I was always confused between table 1 and where table 2. So you just need to be clear that, okay, first we need to select the table 1 that we need to select from, and then we could make the statement on join statement on table 2. Now what you need to do is, we are going to do a hands-on on inner join statement. So what I will recommend you, in our previous lecture we have already installed pg admin and installed the database onto those. So I have already opened that, and it will ask you ID password, and in already you need to provide that we have set it in the, when you set it up you are asked to for ID password. If it's asking, you could type those, or if you have forgot that, then you might need to like uninstall and redo again. You can't forgot password and do other stuff. But now once you have installed the database, what I need to show you is, basically if you need to know about, okay, what are the column do I have, so I could open this PSQL tool that will open us a what terminal. This is known as terminal, and what we could do is, basically here we could type dt slash dt, and then we could get all the table names that it contains. So if you look onto this, it contains all the table that we have discussed earlier. So here that's all the table category it contains. Now what we are going to do is, basically we are going to look at some inner SQL question. So here we are asked to find the title of movies rented by each customer along with the date they were rented. So we need to uh, find the title of the movies. We need to first find the title of the movies rented by each customer. We need to get each customer that who are rented those, and along with the date they rented. So we need to from the first we need to get the customer. So here we have customer, and then we need to get rental date, that on which date it was rented, and then we need to get the movie title. So if we need to get the movie title, right, so let us say where it's the movie title. So I think, um, let's see on inventory, do we have in uh, movie title? So here in this we are getting title, which is inside film. So we could get those film title, and so to get the film we need to have the inventory, right? So what we could do is we could make a inner join statement on rental, and then we could make an inner join statement on inventory, and then we are able to get the film, and from rental date we are able to get the rental date, movie title, and I think customer first name, last name are we are getting those. So I think that's pretty much clear that what we need to do is basically I will reiterate, and uh, okay, so let me select the pen. So what we need to do is we are we are asked to get the customer first name, last name, rent, uh, the rent date that it has been rented on. We need to get the movie title name. So to get the movie title name from here to here, what we need to do is basically make an inner join statement on this, and then inner join statement on this. Then we are able to get, okay, which movie person have got it, all those things. So to imagine, so first we have customer, we make an inner join statement on this, and we get the, okay, whom are the person that have made rents. So once we get this data, we what we do is we make a inventory, or like make a next SQL join statement on let me see a customer, and this is our rental. Once we get this data, right, what we need to do is we need to make an next next inner join statement on rental, which is common to both, and inventory. Then we get this data, and then we need to make a join statement on film. Then we get the common data, and this is all the answer that it contains the film name. So let's see how we could approach this. So first we need to open the PG admin. I have already opened this, and then we need to open query tool, and this is the all thing that we are going to use on SQL query. And let me see if I could zoom in on those. Okay, so here let's zoom more, zoom view and zoom in, control plus plus, view, zoom in, zoom in. So now let us see how you could make this SQL statement. So first what we need to do is we need to make SQL select or make a select statement, and what we need to do is from which things we need to select it from. So we need to select from table customer, select customer, small customer, and then in the from the customer we need to get the first name and last name. So dot will able to access that table, and then we need to get the column first name, and need to get on to the next column, that is last name, and then we need to get film title, right, film title, which is, okay, it's title, and then we from the film column we need to get the title, and this is our movie title. So what we could do is we could name it as movie title. So we could say that, okay, from film dot title we need to import it um, as movie title or movie title. So we have imported this. Now what we need to do is next, let me check the questions. So customers we have done, okay, the date which they are rented on. So to get the date which they are rented on, we need to get on the rental, and the rental date we need to get. So next we need to import um, rental, right? So rental, import rental from let me get into rental date, rental date, right? Okay, and this should be selected from customer. So remember the table 1 that we need to select. So this is our customer. So we will select from customer table 1, all small, customer table 1. Then we make a inner join statement on table 2, which is our rental table. We make inner join on this inner join. How do you make on inner join? Inner join the name of the table 2, that is rental, and then what we need to do is we have made this on rental, and then we need to combine this. So what's our statement is basically table 1 dot column, common column between those. So the common column between this is customer ID. So what I could do is we need to make a inner join statement on rental and customer table, and here is our schematic. So table 2 on customer dot customer ID, which is the commonality between two, is equal to rental dot customer ID. We are able to get those. So then we need to make, once we have got this, it's nested inner join statement, because then we need to get, okay, we have got the rented date. We could get the rented date from the rented, but we need to get the movie names also. So to do this, we need to make a inner join on this also, this one also, because this is connected. Why? Because we need to get the title. So to make this connection, right, to make the inner join on the table 3, how you could do this? So basically these are connected through if we look into this, if they are connected through inventory ID, right, inventory ID and inventory ID here, so we could use that one to connect those. So inner join statement, inner join, and then on inventory on, and then the table name 1, that is, or rental dot inventory ID is equal to, or inventory dot inventory ID, and then we could get, next we need to make inner join statement from inventory ID uh, from inventory to the film. So in this both, which is common, I think the film ID is common, so we could get the film ID and make a inner join statement on those. So film on, then we need to get the inventory which is common, I forgot, that is film ID dot film ID, and then we need to select film dot film ID, and that's it. I think that's done, and then you have this shortcut to get all the movie title, like F5 to run the script. Or also what you could do is you could just order by the name or last name, but here we have got the rental date based on movie title, rental date, and first name, last name. Here the reason why I have used the basically the nested SQL statement to get you more hands-on. It might be uh, uh, a great idea to have hands-on on directly on inner nested inner join statement. And now let us move on to the next part, that is full inner join statement. Now let us look on the, okay, so in outer join statement, what it basically is, basically we have, let me open my marker. So basically in outer join we just combine the table A1 plus table 2. So how to do it? This is basically, it's similar to inner join and statement. So we select column. Here we select the columns that we need to select. Then we select from which table we need, from table, and then we make a outer join statement on table 2, well 2, where some commonality between table 1 and table 2 is there. Commonality between table 2 is there. So now let us, this is the common structure, and I'm just deriving it from the inner join statement. I'm just changing this from inner to outer, and this is similarly true for any other statements. Let's see one of the question. List customers without rental movies, without renters, and the detail of customers who rented movies. So what we are trying to do is list customers without rental movies, without renters, and just we need, what it's trying to say is just you make a outer join statement on all those tables and display it. So here whatever we have in this, it's basically saying to use outer join statement we need to get a union of all the rental movies, all the customer name, all the customer names, film names. So we just need to change inner join statement to basically to outer join statement. So here control, yeah, here in this we just need to change it to outer join. And a better way is to you rewrote down whole thing, because it will give you a practice. So outer join on all the remaining columns. So when I run this, I get, okay, there is a, a syntax error, and let me basically what it means is, basically here outer join is or full join statement. So here it should be full, and my mistake, it should be instead of outer it should be here also outer join, so it should be full join. Basically outer join is another name for full join statement. And here you get all the columns that contains all the movie rentals without any rental names, without any movie names. So it contains all the movies without any having any connection between all those. So it's basically union of those. So now let us look at the right join statement and left join inner statement, and then we could look on to what is rank and other operators. So now let us look at, first we are going to look at the left join statement, and basically here we have, suppose table A, table B, and then if we need to get only all those table A contents, we use left join statement. Now how do you could make the query for the left join statement? It's similar to inner join or full join statement, and what we need to do is select the column that we need to select, then from which and I will recommend you to try to write down this by your own, and it's very simple, just you need to understand. So we need to select it from table 1, that we need to get the left join. So here we have to get only this part, so table 1 left join, with whom we are want to make left join is that table 2, label 2, sorry, table 2, and then on table 1 with regarding some inner columns that we need, right? Table 1 dot some common columns. That's how is the basically or schematics for the left join statement, column 2. Now let us open our the query tool and do this same. So before we look on to the PG admin, we need to have let us look on some questions. So find all the customer and the titles of the movie if they rented any. If a customer hasn't rented a movie, we still want to list the all the customer but with the null values. So if you want to rent show all the values but they have the rented, even if they are empty, we need to show it. So basically what it's saying is display all the values. If the customer is empty, we need to show it with null value. So basically it's saying we need to have all the customer names there. Even if it's empty, show it left, show it empty. So what we need to do is basically make left join statement on all this from customer, because we will get all the values of the customers that are there. So here we are going to do just change to left join, and we are going to get all the values, and we know the shortcuts to run the script F5. It will give us the all the customer name, first name and last name. Even if they haven't rented any, we will get their name, else it will show null values. So here we have about 16k data set values from here. Out of these are showing around 1k, but some of them might have null values that you could look onto. Now let's look onto the right outer join statement, and then we are completed with the join statement. In right join statement, basically it's what we have is basically we have a column, sorry, two columns, and this is our table 1 and table 2. Instead we get the table 2 column we need. So what's the syntax for write out the join statement? So it's a select column that we need to select from column from table 1, and we make a right join onto table 2, and here we should have the on like where the table 2, sorry, table 1 dot some commonality is equal to table 2 dot some commonality. So we have got an idea. Okay, we could select this, and then we need to join this statement. So find all the movies along the customer who rented them. So here we need to first get all the movies, and then we need to find who have rented them. So if you think, what we need to do is basically we just need to change our flow, and here we need to first get the film and then make a left join to the other part. So let us update our script, and what I will do is I will remove all this thing, and I will just skip this part. And then what we need to do is we need to select from the column film, and first we need to make a right join statement from film to the inventory. And here we could see that to make a connection between film and this, we need to have some commonality, and the commonality is film ID. So we will do a right join film dot film ID is equal to inventory ID. First we need to have the table 2 name, so I have missed here, so it should be inventory on film where film ID is so on film ID where inventory film ID are similar. Similarly, then we need to make a right join statement on rental, in which the rental ID is similar to the inventory ID. So rental and inventory dot rental ID is equal to rental dot so let me check if it's rental ID or inventory ID. So inventory ID is the commonality between the rental table and the inventory table. So inventory ID dot inventory slash ID. That's the commonality between those two. And then we also need to make right join, the last one, to connect rental to the customer part. So the both commonality is between, I think, customer ID. So customer ID is the commonality between those. So customer table on customer. So first we need to do rental dot customer dot ID, and then we need to do rental dot customer underscore ID. This should be underscore. Let us check if there is any typo. I don't find any. Let's run it and waiting for the query to complete. And we have got our query, that is the movie's name. We are listing movies name that are listed into the name of the person. So what we have done is find all the movies along with the customer who rented them. We first calculate the got the film names, and then we right joined all the statement to the end of the table, that was customer. Now we have got an idea, okay, how to use join statement. Now let us move on to the next topic, that is rank. Let's look at rank. Rank is used to assign a unique rank to each row within a partition of a data set. So when it's useful, so it's useful when we need to order a rank. So suppose we need to get who is the second rank that have got highest score, then we could use this. So basically it's providing a ranking to your table rows based on the particular data set we have. Based on particular query, it assigns a rank to it. Now let us look at the statement, how it's used. So basically here first you could write this down as your, if you are making notes, so you could, this is very important. So when you use rank statement, you need to mention over, like select column 1, column 2. Rank, basically we need to provide unique ranking. Over means we are just basically in by which column that we need to do is that we use over. Then partition by basically tells, it's optional although, but basically tells okay by which column we need to make partition. And the order by is basically in which way we need to show the data set. And then we could name this as optional group name, and then we could have the table. So a better way is to just directly do a hands-on directly to this join statement, sorry, or rank statement. And basically what we need to do is, so what I will do is I will make a rank statement here, and here what I will do is so first what we'll do is we select the customer ID, and we are doing this in rental table. What we need to do is now we need to use our rank statement, and first we need to count, okay, what are the amount of rental ID have been done. So we need to do count rental ID as total rentals. We could say this as total rentals, and then what we need to do is rank over order by count, in which we need to make this, and we say rental ID, and then we could say by descending order we need to do it as rental rank, and then from which we need to do is, from which table we are doing this rental, and then we could group it by customer ID, and then order by rental ID, rental rank, sorry, rental rank. So what we have done is we basically taken a whole count. We made a ranking out of this based on the rental ID that have been taken to buy the customer, and then we have make it on by dissing like we first the higher the rank, the higher the count is, the more the rank is, the less the rank is. Basically, the more the rental you have done, the more the rental you do, the higher the movie ranking is basically. And then we have just take it from the customer, then it group it by customer ID, and then we have order it by the uh, order by the rental rank. So here we have an error, and it's saying syntax error at this. So what's basically it is, let me check. So what the error was, basically we didn't have this commas and we forgot to put the brackets. So basically when we done it, we get the basically the total rentals done by the customer ID based on the ranking. So we could see that customer ID 140 have 8 have taken total rentals about 46 and its rental rank is 1. So basically rank statement is an analytic function that you could do use for ranking. Basically that stuff we are used for the rent rank statement is used. Now one thing I need to cover last is about the like statement, and before that there is one more thing we need to know about is dense SQL command, and there is which is mostly often asked in interview question, rank and dense. So we need to know, okay, what is rank and what is dense statement. Let's look at what is dense rank. So if you look at this rental rank, right? So here you could see 1, 2, 3, 3, and directly on we jump on to the 5, and we missed the rank 4th. Why? Because see here we have total rentals same, so that's why our rental rank was 4th was skipped, and that to overcome we use dense rank. So if we want to look onto the definition in SQL, dense rank is a window function, basically analytical function to rank, but it assign a consecutive ranks without gap. So when rows have same column values, they receive the same rank, but the next rank is sequentially incremented without skipping the numbers. And the and the and the uh, and the SQL command statement, SQL schema for this is same. So if we look onto this, if we see this, we could see that the 4th one was skipped, and if we don't want this, like we need to have a sequential way which it is incremented by 1, that is known as dense rank, and then we just need to execute the script. We have the executed script 1 2 3 4 5 6 6 6, and then everything is the sequencing rank. Whereas if we just keep the rank statement, we could see a lot of things are skipped when we move into, like you could see directly how much rank were skipped, but it would not happen in dense rank. Now there are few last operators we need to know about, and then I hope you have command onto the advanced SQL statement, and in the next lecture we are going to look at how you could solve some SQL command questions onto this. The last thing that we need to look at is the like statement. So like statement is similar to nothing but just we need to if we want to search in some patterns in our SQL, we use like patterns. So in this pattern, percentage is used to find 0 or 1 or multiple characters, and the underscore is used for representing to get a single character. So select, the thing is similar, select column 1 column 2 from table 1 and the column 1 and then the like pattern, and it will be more clear when we use it. So here we just remove all those things, and then what we do is we select, oh, virtual keyboard. So this is odd, but select class name, and then we need to do is from which we need to select is from customer, and then where we need to do is basically last name, and then we need to do like, and suppose we want to select all the number that starts with S. So what we could do is basically this operator we need to do single quote S, and then it's end with the percent. So basically it will get all the starting with S character. What if we need to get all the character that ends with S character? So uh, we get no ends with character S, basically. That's odd. So basically, let's see. Oh, let's say whose name ends with Sun. So we get all the name that end with Sun, and that's where you use like statement. And with this, we could wrap up all advanced SQL statement, and let's go through what we have learned in this lecture. So basically, we have looked onto the rank statement, and before that we have looked onto the join statement. And join statement is basically used to combine two or more tables together. And there are four ways to you could use join statement: inner join, left join, and right join. And basically the command statement are same. You use select columns table 1, and then you do inner join on table 2, and on then you make a condition on table 1 which is equal to some condition on table 2, basically the commonality between two. Then we looked at the rank. What is rank statement? Basically it used to rank any partition on the database based on some criteria. And we looked onto the dense state rank statement, why it's used. Basically in SQL rank, if the order number are same, the other ranking are skipped. But in dense rank it's not skipped, it's ranked in sequentially, that we have looked. And then we in the last we looked at the like operator, which use percent and underscore to rank. Now with this we could wrap up our lecture, and in next lecture we could look at some coding question on the advanced SQL statement.